Hello, everybody. Welcome back to race 6 of the winter season. We had a really late start, but the races are about to start.
Everyone's gridded up. The flag's waved in their way. Unfortunately, the thing is in the way to show you the flag, but already they're going 5 wide. This is the LCQ of the winter season, race 6, and we're seeing some 5 wide action going into the first hairpin. Some minor contact there as they're going 3 wide, continued through turn 2. It's just a clump of a continuous crash right now. Am I seeing someone about to fall off? No, they're safe through the that sequence right there, but here we come into the first braking zone. This is where all the danger happens. So we see someone already taking an early lead there.
So, a few big stories here. Leading this LCQ is Spencer Foote, who unfortunately got into an incident during his heat race. He's normally one of the front-runner finalists. This might affect his championship. And behind him is Samuel, another person who's usually in the final. So they, unfortunately, didn't have the best heat race. They are in LCQ, but they are spearheading the LCQ.
Yep, and around light bulb they go. This race just looking like a pretty straightforward one as people are falling into line. Not a lot of overtakes here, but as I say, that Harb goes in for a nice little overtake through the double apex going into roller coaster, and he secures that position.
So our top 4, we got Spencer in first, Samuel in second, Kirk in third, and Harb in fourth. So as things stand now, those top 4...
A little bit of a battle. Harb is cut on someone's bumper, and they're stuck together. Oh! And someone did not see that and ran right hard into them. That's probably a huge impact. Is he okay? Yeah, he's okay. He gives the thumbs up there.
That was Tristan. Yeah, got hit really hard. Hopefully he'll be all right.
Yeah, they were strewn across the side of the track right on the racing line, and it's just unfortunate if you're not seeing that there.
Tentative congratulations, I'm going to jinx it, to Spencer, Samuel, Kirk, and Harb. They are, as of right now, with the gaps as they are, there's very little chance that they won't make it into the final as things are, but anything can happen in racing. Baran on the inside of turn 4. Let's see what happens. Baran dives late. Woo! Last lap overtake.
Wow, that is a good job from Baran. He's just gunning for all the points that he can get, and it looks like
safely
already,
played, yeah.
Even though they're halfway on the other side of the track, we go to first place. We have Spencer Foote crossing the line, taking first place of the LCQ.
Followed by Samuel, second place
Second
for LCQ.
place of the LCQ.
Here
and
comes
then we're
Kirk
gonna wait
for third.
a couple seconds.
Here he comes.
And then
Kirk Strong, third place.
Kirk Strong, third place.
And coming out in fourth, Harb securing fourth, it looks like. But not Harb, my bad. Giuseppe almost caught up. So that's Harb rounding out our top 4.
Yep. Oh, wow, they did almost catch up there. And then we have our winner of the LCQ, 5th and 6th. But now with that LCQ over, we're going to move on to the final. We'll have 24 racers, and they'll be racing for the podium and for championship points. All right, and just like that, we're back to the final. We have all 24 racers out here, the top 4 who made it into the final. We have an interesting looking formation lap, as it looked like I saw some 3 wide there, but they end up falling back into line as they weave their way through my favorite sequence of corners, turns 4 and 5. They'll make their way through bus stop. The yellow flag's being waved, tell them to slow down to get into that rolling start position. What are some interesting names that we have starting at the top of this final?
So from this distance, I couldn't get a good look. Oh, hey, thanks for the good look. That's Stephen Barrett, I believe, starting in first. Thomas Heacock in second. Congratulations. Those two are...
Thomas Heacock got second in the last race, where
he
started from literally the back of the pack.
I'll have much better naming ability when they round this corner here. Oh, nice. Keep that camera right center there. In third is...
Todd.
Yeah, that's definitely Todd. He took off his Ferrari suit. It was too hot, he told me. Fourth is James Kempf in that recognizable red monster helmet.
I see Sergey's in sixth.
Sergey's in sixth. I think fifth is...
Yeah, so we might get some Sergey train action today, but here they are rounding out roller coaster.
That's Davidson in fifth, by the way.
Here
they go.
Start. Gonna pan over to the flag, which will hopefully be in frame.
Flag is up.
The flags waved and they're away. Already a slow start, but I'm seeing 4 wide, 5 wide at the back of the pack here. How's that going to work as they go through turn 1? It isn't going to work, and so they're going to split off. Some people are going to get ahead and climb in there, and it looks like it's going to be 3 wide all around through turn 2.
You cut out. So anyway, get in there. Todd trying to take third from James Kempf. Gets through. James on the outside. Sergey trying to sneak by. Doesn't quite work.
Here
side
we are
by
into
side.
the first braking zone. Are they going to keep it clean? I'm not hearing cleanness as someone spins out into the barrier, but it looks like no one else was affected. It's just him. But there's still some chaos going in there. Are going to keep it clean in the following corner here. It looks like they are. It's just a rolling, bumping, congealed mass as they go through. Someone's really slow through a bus stop. That's going to be 3 wide through there. I don't know how they make that work as top of the world they go into light bulb. We've seen quite a few incidents in the LCQ as people overdrive it here, but none of them do that here.
So really quick, adjusting the timing sheet and looking where you got the camera pointed. Perfect. Awesome. So coming down the front straight, we got Stephen Barrett on the inside, on the outside in P2. Thomas Heacock sniffing for third. It's Todd Hutchings. Hopefully his GoPro's on because this is going to be some really good fight. This is one of the best races he's had so far. I hope I didn't just jinx it. And fourth is Sergey on his own. Fifth is Paulo. Paulo's in fifth. He's wearing black today. I almost didn't recognize him. Followed by James
we're
Kempf,
used to the blue Dynaco, but not today.
Hopefully nothing happened with that Dynaco sponsor. It's a good sponsor to have.
It is.
Top 3 coming into turn 4. Steven on the inside, Thomas on the outside. Thomas sneaks by and takes the lead.
Thomas doing a really good job there. After missing out on his first place with some great defensive driving from Ryan, he now has a chance to get that lead that he wanted in that last race if he can just hold out for a full 20 minutes.
It's still the early stage of the long race, though, and all this fighting is letting Sergey catch up. Sergey looks to have good pace. Sergey's not on the defensive today. He's sniffing for a win, and he's sitting in fourth and looking at the battles going on in front of him. He's ready to fight. All of them are ready to fight.
If we remember the race from 2 races ago, Paulo is going to be right behind him, and if we get like a similar battle like that, Thomas could potentially run away with this.
Oh, boy. Oh, dear. Everybody's ganging up. Steven right behind Thomas for the lead. Todd Cat keeping up. Everybody's hugging the inside to stay defensive. They don't want to give up any positions. I think they want to settle in and let the gaps form so they could pick apart each fight one by one without losing as much time.
Yeah, they're going to be using the bump draft tactics to just try to get as much of a gap as possible. The fact that there's 3 racers here means that things can get chaotic pretty quickly if they do start to have that battle. You want to turn it into a duel more than anything.
Yeah, we got the top 7 entering turn 4 now. In 8th place is our previous race winner, who almost goes a little too wide in 4, but manages to keep it, being pressured by William Yee. That is Ryan Gowan in the green helmet in 8th.
Lots of good racing even further down the pack. I was just going to hold it on to turns 4 and 5 because it's such a nice corner to look at. I like to think it's our very own Monaco chicane. Yeah,
that's good. Speaking of good things, shout out to Preston, who made it to the final and is currently in 10th. So this is his first race back. I was talking to him earlier. He was in the hospital, which is why he missed some of the races earlier. But to see him in the final and in 10th place, he's doing a lot better, both physically recovered from the hospital trip and in terms of racecraft. So good job, Preston.
I'm just going to crank out this assumption right here. That hospital trip is unrelated to the karting incidents, or karting.
Oh, yeah, it's unrelated. It's unrelated.
But yeah.
You cut out. So focusing on the top 3, we got Thomas still spearheading the race. Stephen Barrett still trying to get past. And, right behind, pressuring Steven, is Todd. Todd's having a fantastic race today.
Oh, yeah.
It's almost as if ditching the Ferrari suit gave him a boost. Any conspiracies?
Yeah, it looked like in testing Ferrari was doing pretty decent, so maybe, who knows, maybe we could have a decent Formula 1 season, but the winter season is what we care about here, and Paulo, being as far back as he is, He only gets one race to ditch, and he finished 5th in the last race, so is he
And
gonna...
he's currently in 5th behind Sergey, who's in 4th. So let's see if Paulo can pick off the 4 racers in front of him, because we got a nice train of people.
We got huge names in this train as well.
And let's get those names as they come down the front straight. Rounding out roller coaster, we got Thomas in the lead, followed very closely by Stephen Barrett, then Todd Hutchings, Sergey Kostov, and Paulo Bettini. Those are our top 5 as they explode into turn 1.
Paulo Bettini leading this championship by a huge margin, having won so many races in a row, like 4.
You cut out again. So we got side by side into 3. Paulo sniffing around the outside. Everybody's just having a little sniff to see if they could get any sort of advantage without compromising themselves. They're coming into turn 4 now, and they're pushing extremely hard. Thomas almost went a little wide. That's how hard they're pushing. They need to get their brake points perfect, because all these front runners know exactly how hard they can brake and get away with. The pressure's really piling on.
Unfortunately, I think the writing's on the wall for Thomas here, because when you start your own Thomas the Train steam engine thing, it normally means that you're the slowest in the pack and you're not able to maintain that gap. So we're going to have to see some really good defensive driving from Thomas in order for him to maintain this lead. Otherwise, I think what's going to happen is someone's going to slip by, and then that's just going to fall away from him.
It doesn't look like Thomas is being defensive, though. Thomas is pushing. He does not want to be defensive, because, as we've seen in the past, if you're in the lead but you're too defensive, that just piles on the pressure way too much. Steven and Todd are not letting him have any breathing room, though. And we see Thomas definitely having to take... He was forced to take the defensive line there. And this is anybody's race.
You were talking about defensive driving, and I see Sergey taking a defensive line going into turn 1, and that's opened up that gap to 3rd place as Paulo is stuck behind, and he takes advantage of that and gets that lead. Just what you were talking about with the flaws of defensive driving.
All right, so Paulo sneaks by and gets by Sergey, but all of them have pace. So we're going to see if Paulo can catch up to the top 3, which, given their pace, I think they will. This race is far from over. We even see the battle of James Kempf and Alex Seguin in 6th and 7th. They're actually catching up as well. So it is entirely possible that the top 3 is just a very slight cork in the bottle of Thomas, taking a note from Sergey. May not have the greatest pace, but is able to spearhead the race. It's not that he's slow, it's that he's forced on the defensive because Steven and Todd are piling impossible amounts of pressure, and Thomas just has to absorb it as they come down the front straight.
And as we go by the front straight, we'll see someone coming out of that where Colin was. There looks like there were some mechanical issues or something, but he's going back out to the race.
All right. I didn't see any mechanical issue. Oh, I think that was further back.
Yeah, it was
It looked like someone just locked up into turn 1. That's unfortunate.
there's an incident in turn 1. Yeah, I see that. Slow cart.
Yep, slow cart. Ah, well, that's unfortunate. It's easy to lock up into turn 1 if you haven't mastered the braking. But let's look at turn 4. All of our leaders have caught up to each other.
Now Sergey's right behind Paulo, but Paulo's right behind that top 3 right there.
We got
Thomas the steam engine, the Thomas the train engine, still going strong.
Oh yeah, they're chugging along. We see this train. This is a big pressure cooker. Don't think any of them are complacent where they are. They are all waiting for the instant the person in front of them makes the slightest mistake, they're going to leap at it. They're all anticipating that and ready to pounce at the opportune moment. Until then, this is almost like a Cold War.
Yep.
So here they come down the front straight.
Steven is definitely not looking to try to compromise himself by going too crazy with the overtakes. It looks like he's going to maintain his bump drafting strategy.
They are hugging the inside. They're not letting anything go. And as well they should. This is some of the highest level racecraft we've seen all season through the most amount of people. They know that if they want to make an overtake, they have to commit, and it's a big risk because the instant you make that overtake move, if it doesn't stick, the other people behind you are going to eat you up, and instead of moving forward, you're going to drop back several positions.
Which is why we're seeing that bump drafting from Steven here, looking like he's building a gap, and then he's just safer on the brakes there.
Steven wants to build that gap. if Steven can build that gap and build a gap between him and Todd, who's right behind him, that means it'll be safer for him to make a move on first, which is why Steven isn't being too aggressive on Thomas. He's being very patient, very disciplined, and this is how races are won. It's gonna come down. It's gonna come down to an explosion. This is just a big powder keg ready to explode.
Yeah,
James Kempf and Alex still catching up. Don't get me wrong, this is a 7-way battle for the lead. Don't count James and Alex out of this just because they're trailing behind a little bit.
Yeah, the leaders here are definitely going to be testing their patience to the highest degree. For all we know, Steven's strategy could be to just keep Thomas ahead, just push him ahead, maintain his position, and hope that there isn't an explosion until the final lap. Then he makes the move and gets it done.
They're all being very patient. I'm just anticipating the instant one of them slips. That's when the grenade pin is pulled and they're all going to explode. We see. It looked like a move, but it was just jockeying for better lines.
Yeah, looks like Sergey's just kind of snaking around behind Paulo, trying to stay in that slipstream.
It was a move. Paulo got by Todd.
Oh, wow.
My eyes are playing tricks on me. Paulo just Houdini'd his way into third. What the heck happened there? I had my eyes glued on them the whole time, and I didn't even see it.
Paulo just knows how to overtake, even when people are watching him, to surprise attack you.
Yikes. And now this is Paulo in third instead of Todd in third. Yeah, Paulo, don't get me wrong. Todd is a really good racer, but Paulo, we've seen Paulo in action.
Todd is literally the champion, or Paulo is literally the championship leader, having won so many races in a row. Literally won the first 4 races of the season. I'm not even sure who's the closest one. I believe it was Spencer, but he was stuck in LCQ, so he's battling further back. I don't think I see him in this top 7 battle.
Yeah, Spencer is back, I think, in like 10th or 11th. He's further back, but looking at the front battles here, everybody seems to be relatively well behaved.
Yeah, Sergey right behind Todd there. I know that Sergey and Todd have had some battles in the past.
Oh yeah, I think Sergey might see Todd and think I could pass him, and that we're probably gonna see more aggression. Speaking of more aggression,
Paulo making a move on Steven Barrett right here, thinking he can get past.
Who's on the? We got Steven. Steven's on the inside. Now Paulo's on the inside. Paulo makes it by, and that lets Todd also get by too. He's on the inside. Can he make it work? No. Steven keeps him on the inside, and that lets Sergey bump him out. Oh no!
Todd driven off the track, taking a shortcut, trying to get back and stay in that fight.
From this angle, it looks like Todd got bumped out when he was side by side going into bus stop. That's unfortunate.
Yeah, too wide in bus stop is risky.
Oh, man.
I know there's space in there. I've seen too wide through there several times.
But when you're pushing that hard, that space it just goes. That space is there, and then it's suddenly not there.
Meanwhile, battle for the lead. Paulo should now be right on Todd.
Paulo is right on Todd.
And pushing him way further than Steven ever did. So it's going to be just pretty much a running clock until Paulo just decides, all right, I think I can take the lead here.
Yep, so Paulo's very patient. We've seen him scope out the person in front and then just make a decisive strike.
Speaking of decisive strike, here it is right here. Goes onto the inside, takes the outside line, and now side by side, Todd and Paulo are going into turn 4. Who's going to be braver on the brakes? It looks like it's going to be Thomas that's going to be braver on the brakes and still maintains his lead. Almost a close move from Paulo. And it looks like Paulo, the fight still isn't over, but no, he does duck back into line going into turn 5, or going into turn 6 and 7. And Thomas still maintains his lead. Brilliant defense work from him to maintain that and be so brave on the brakes in turn 4.
That turn 4 braking by both Thomas and Paulo was masterclass. We've seen Thomas in previous races lock up there, making an overambitious move, and Thomas has been wise to that, learned from his past mistakes, and they are paying off to the point where he's still retaining the lead of the race when it was in jeopardy. If that's not leveling up, I don't know what is.
Thomas just looks to be made of race winner here.
All that fighting, though, Steven Barrett
has caught up.
Not only is he caught up, he is pressuring both of them. This is a very tense fight for the lead. And we see Alex trying to fight 4th from James Kempf in 5th. Alex overtakes James. And can he close the door? It almost doesn't look like it. Nope, James kept his toe in the door.
The battle's still going, though.
That battle's still going. They're slowing each other down, but Alex has the better exit and overtakes James for 4th place.
And we're still keeping an eye on this.
Bear in mind, this battle
top
between
three
Alex... Yeah, the battle between Alex and James for 4th and 5th has been brewing this entire race. So that was the pin in the cork there. And looking at the top 3...
That top 3 is still there, and so now you can see why Paulo insisted on pushing Todd and not going for that immediate overtake right there, because you can see how quickly Steven was able to catch up after that one move.
We've seen Steven, his nickname, 50 cal. He's like a sniper bullet just carving through the field, and he is right on the back of Thomas and Paulo. And Sergey's catching up too.
This can turn into another 4-way battle for the lead.
It all comes down to this lap. Here we go.
Final lap, non-stop action this whole race, and here we go. The top 4 into turn 2 are still going, so now they know there's not a lot of time here, so they got to make their move soon and quickly and hold it.
It's do or die. Can Thomas hold on, or can Paulo take the inside and lead the race? He sniffed that out,
and this time he keeps Thomas trapped. He's not able to make a return move, but Thomas is looking at that outside line there as Paulo goes defensive, holding that inside line. And
Thomas is
just
fight.
Closing the door, but here comes Steven stuck on the inside, and Sergey has now officially caught up to this battle. He's going to keep him honest. He's going to look for that last spot on that podium.
Thomas is going to go full aggression and make every move in the book. Paulo, I know, is privy to this, and Paulo knows exactly where to put that car. It's all going to come down to the front
Sergey
straight.
moves up to 3rd place, pushes Steven Barrett out wide, and now that allows Sergey to claim that 3rd place from Steven, and so now Steven's wanting to battle it up.
It's
and
all
now
coming
Thomas
down.
is stuck on the outside through double apex, and Sergey is right on there. He's looking for that undercut, says Thomas, and he pushes in through roller coaster.
Coming down.
Survive as they
Here
come
it
out.
is.
Paulo
The sprint to the front
lead.
straight.
Here's Sergey right behind him, and there's Steven looking to make
Steven
that return move.
Steven on the outside. I think he might have got it.
Who wins? I know that Sergey has a...
The timing sheets have updated. Steven pips Sergey up the line for the 3rd podium spot.
Wow, and what an intense podium that was, as Sergey tried to get that podium through, but wasn't able to get that top speed through the straight through. Steven pips it. Thomas held on for as long as he could for the full 20 minutes against Paulo, but then on that last lap, struggles through, or second to last lap, lets him through, tries to get it back, but Paulo is just a masterclass at defending, takes that 1st place, and will start his streak of winning. We'll try to attempt to start a streak of winning once again. We'll see you at the podium. Like, comment, and subscribe.
First and foremost, everybody, thank you guys all for coming out. Another nice and busy one. I think we're only up to like 36 today, but still a pretty decent sized field. Keep in mind, we only got 2 more races after this season. Yeah, other than that, we'll start off with the podium. Coming in 3rd place today, had a best lap time of a 78.950. He was pole position in his heat race. He ended up only getting that by 300ths of a second at the line. Taking 3rd place, Steven Barrett. Woo! 50 cal. Coming in 2nd place with pole position in his qualifying session. Heat race win as well. Got a 78.957. Only driver today to break into the 77s as well. Coming in 2nd place, we got Thomas Heacock. Woo! And take the top spot. Let me just double check. And the fastest lap of the final with the 78.57 or 595, making up 1 position, I believe, on the last lap. 1 position on the lap before it. Punting his way through the field, 1st place, Paul Bettini.
Paul Verstappen.
Back to where he was. I think this now means he has a full race lead. 3, 2, 1.